So, the month of April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. And I've shared a few thoughts on using the word child abuse prevention. And even recently, in doing another podcast, is that whatever it is that we want to focus on, whatever it is we want to bring to fruition, that's what we say. You try to be as positive as much as possible. And instead of looking at Child Abuse Prevention Month, I believe it should be Child Protection Month. Even though child protection should occur every single day, right, in our lives, that children, I believe, are just miracles. We're all miracles, walking miracles, come here on an earthly journey, embodying gifts and talents and having a specific curriculum that we go through, um, and that curriculum can seem so horrific at times. When you think about movies and you think about different things, and I was thinking about that. I was thinking about life because I there was a time in my life, and I think I do still feel that way, to this way, is that life is like one big movie, right? That your life is like one big movie. You have the protagonist, the person that is here that has a certain thought about life and is here to grow and evolve. And, at the end of the movie, they have a changed perspective, a more healthy perspective. They learn something. There's a moral to that movie, a lesson or a theme. And we have all these players in life, right? So we have coaches, parents, uncles, aunts, grandpas, and grandmas, and cousins, and school classmates, and all these people that have their role to play, all to help you become who you really are. And it's when sometimes that we experience certain horrific or unthinkable things that we tend to wonder, wait a minute, is this what life is really about? I remember thinking that, as I was going through an experience in my life. And I said, no, this can't be what life is about. When two family members misuse my body, and I've talked about this before, and it's not about the act, what was done. It's more about, I think about, it's more of what I gained from that experience, principles that I've gained, the importance of telling the truth, integrity, the importance of facing my emotions and feelings. Because I also, too, my mother raised us, because she left my father because he drank a lot of alcohol and other things, and he misused her, abusive, physically, mentally, socially abusive towards her. And when I think about all of that, even with him, I'm like, face my emotions and my feelings. That's a primary thing that I learned, because I don't want to project how I feel on other people. I don't think it's fair to do that. I think it's my responsibility to address how I feel and to put it in a perspective in such a way that it becomes more beneficial than helpful. And I know that falls under the topic of transforming trauma. How can we use what we've gone through, what we've experienced, to not only better ourselves, but also to better the world and to better those that we love, the children that we raise. One of my things is that I didn't want anyone to go through what I went through. And my mother often told us to take care of home first. And so one of the things that I've been doing with my children is sharing virtues about integrity, virtues about responsibility, kindness, really pulling those thoughts out of them, because I believe those virtues are within us, that a God created us, our creator created us in such a way that everything that he has is within us, the ability to think, the ability to cast thoughts into the world. And as you know, you've heard about the law of attraction and the secret, and the ability uh, to function as co-creators of our lives. And when I experienced the misuse of my body, I knew that that wasn't it, that there had to be more to life, that now I know what love isn't. So I'm out for what love is. I'm on the search for that. And, you know, there were a series of things that happened in my life. I called out to, I opened my bedroom window and called out to the universe for help. I said, I want to be aligned with nature. Somehow I felt that there was something out there that loved me, that wanted me to have a good life, that knew what this journey would be about and how to best go through this journey, minimizing the amount of, um, how should I say it, the amount of harmful effects, right? Hoping to walk along this journey without falling into potholes, you know. So I said that, and I next thing you know, a series of things happen. I don't know if it was the order, but this is what, you know, happened. I obtained a Bible, you know, and I read it from cover to cover on my floor, and then tried to teach it to my stuffies. I got a copy of the Lord's Prayer, and then I also too started watching the life of Jesus, and how I saw a man that was different than the ones that I had encountered in my life, and one that was on a mission, one that had held his head up, one that knew what he was for, knew um, our Father, Creator, and just with integrity and compassion and the ability to withstand the storms in life, the physical storm when he was on a boat, right? And how he calmed the storm. You know, I believe that we have the ability to do that, because after we've gone through some traumatic experiences, there will be occasional storms that we have to face. And those storms can come in the form of smells, they can come in the form of people saying something, a song, or anything that could, what they call, trigger you to remember an event. But we have the ability to calm the storm. I took that from that. And so I continued to um, evolve in such a way that I stopped using mistakes and I substituted mistakes for life lessons. I wanted to become, I didn't want to regret, spend a lot of time regret. I wanted to learn from my experience and learn from others. I also, at some point in around 14 or so, I realized that we experienced life tests. And life tests, you guys, tests aren't those that are the happy go tests, you know, the ones that, that make us smile all the time. But those tests could be ones that really have us to question who we are and what we're here to do. That many often, after experiencing a potentially traumatic experience, such as child abuse, neglect, we often question who we are. We often fall into depression um, and anger, inner hatred and anger, because we feel that we are the cause of what someone did. Why should I love myself when someone didn't love me? You know, um, but that is the opposite of how we must feel about our lives. The opposite of the truth that we are here as divine beings and that we have everything we need to pass these experiences. Now, when people project their pain on us, that is their choice. It's never anything that you have done. You know, no child is responsible for adult behavior. No child can make an adult do anything. That everyone has free will to do what it is that they want to do. And the choice, of course, is for them to choose to respect others, for them to choose to honor the human being, the body, the mind, and spirit But unfortunately, that doesn't happen. And it hasn't always happened, as you know, in history, as you know, even with your own life experience. But what I'd like to do going forward in the month of April is to share, and I've shared pieces and parts of it through YouTube videos and other podcasts, but to share how I transformed um, a potentially traumatic experiences into something that would benefit me, something that I hope would benefit others, to help people, not strengthen them, but to help them to find the strength within them, to help you find the strength within you to overcome, to transcend experiences. And it is true that we want to bring light to child abuse, but I think we want to bring more light to child protection and to helping others to develop or to embody those core principles or laws that are within your heart and mind, that can help you transcend, that can help you share and revive others, that you too do not have to be a victim of what someone did, but you can actually be a transcender. You can be someone who helps to show others, to remind others of who they are. Because I believe if one person can be a certain way, and we have many great people who have transformed their potentially traumatic experiences. I'm looking at the book Louise Hay, and I think about Martin Luther King, I think about Dorothea Dix, I think about Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman, I think about Maya Angelou and Toni Morrison, people that have experienced things, Oprah Winfrey, that have experienced things and have chosen to use their past to help others, to not to move forward in life. So I'll be sharing some of my mother's principles that I hold dear, some principles that I hold dear to me that have helped me to move forward with my life. That was one of the principles. That is one of the principles my mom taught me, is that to move forward. She would tell us that time waits on no one. I actually heard her saying it this weekend. Time waits on no one. That you choose who you want to be. You have the choice to choose. You don't have to be angry. You don't have to be anxious. You don't have to be depressed. You don't have to be mentally um, disabled or um, have nightmares, or have daymares, or, just be shameful, doubtful, vengeance, and all of that. You don't have to be that way. And I think that's the biggest thing. But I've mentioned before, healing from the inside out is realizing that you don't need to struggle. It's a book that I'm working on now, that you don't need to struggle. And once we realize that, we tend to rip away, we tend to push away those clouds of anger and frustration and shame and guilt. We don't give them a place within us because we know that they don't belong, you know. Um, and I think about, when we're tempted to do something, we're tempted to say something or label someone or get angry, if it is not in us, that temptation will not stand. It will not take us to places that we shouldn't go. It will not take us to places that are unlike us. When people say that was unlike her, it won't take us there, because guess what? It has no place in us to take us. It has no hook. It has no grip to grip us and say, you should be shameful. You should be hurtful. You should be vengeful. You should just focus on yourself and don't focus on your children. Let them go through what you experienced because you experienced it too. So let them go through it. But the truth, and you realize that when we go through things, the responsibility that we have, I believe, and the conviction to have, is that we try our best to not let others go through the same thing. We try our best to help lead them the right way. We are honest with ourselves. And so you have the ability to transform trauma. I want you to think about protection. I want you to think about what is helpful instead of harmful. I want you to think about how can I use what I've experienced to help others, to make me better instead of bitter. And as you think that way, as you know, so it'll be. As you think about positive things and helpful thoughts and actions, as you think about becoming more aware of life, as you think about teaching your children the importance of honoring their body and importance of saying no and responding appropriately to someone who says no, to understand that everybody is here for a divine purpose, to understand that their body is their body and they have a right to choose how they want to use their body, that they have a right to do what it is that they love. You know, many people are caught in their childhood, in their past, and within that child is their purpose, that seed of purpose, that beautiful gift they've been endowed with that often stays put because then we feel we're not worthy, that we may feel that my life has no meaning, but your life has meaning. No one can take away what they did not give to you, that you are here for reasons, a divine reason, and you have everything you need. Doesn't have to be strength, doesn't have to be given to you. Courage doesn't have to be given to you. The ability to advocate for yourself doesn't have to be given to you. You already have it. And so I hope that through this series and I've been doing about transforming trauma. I what I really want to say is I hope with this series, remember who you are will help you to become more of who you are. So this is Tamika Chambers. I have a Facebook page that I manage, Fulfill Your Divine Purpose. And it's more about getting to the inner part of fulfilling our purpose. It's more about preserving yourself, preserving who you are, preserving your mind, your body, your spirit, doing the things that you need to do so that you can enjoy the fruits of your labor. And so, again, it's on the principle that everybody's here for a divine reason. And we are not here to be belittled or here to be the object of someone else's pain, projected pain. We are here to evolve to the highest, to the highest portion, or the highest version of ourselves. And so I hope that this will benefit you, and I hope that this will help you remember who you are, a divine being here to do great work and have everything you need to transcend your experiences and to put your experiences in a healthy way. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care of yourself.